Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 12 Pro and compare it against the iPhone 13 Pro and see which specific phone you should go and pick up in 2023. Now, if you want to pick up either one of these phones, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there. You can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off side by side, there definitely are some differences between these two devices, to say the least. The iPhone 12 Pro, but there's also so many similarities. The iPhone 12 Pro on the front has a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, and it was actually, I think, the first iPhone to bring that 6.1-inch display on a Super Retina XDR OLED display. So it looked very good. I think it looked very, very sharp, and this was a really big advantage for this type of device because it looked so beautiful. You have a notch up top, you have pretty good display. It's a really good display. It is 60 Hz though, so not 120 Hz like the iPhone 13 Pro, but it still looks great. You have the flat sides, and this is still easily one of the better looking displays for sure. On the iPhone 13 Pro, on the other hand, it is a very good looking panel. It's a heavier phone that I've noticed for sure, but with the iPhone 13 Pro, same exact size display. So 6.1 inches, Super Retina XDR OLED, still 120 Hz, still looks very good, and I think this is a very good looking display. Its 120 Hz ProMotion is so nice, and I still I'm just spoiled by it seems like. So that's a really cool thing that we have going for this phone, and for sure when it comes down to it, this is a very, very good looking phone, very good looking panel, although they look kind of the same. Smaller notch here, and the 120 Hz gives it a better impression for me for sure. So that kind of covers it up there. In terms of thinness and thickness, it's kind of the same exact thing. There really isn't that big of a difference here. I really do feel like between both these phones, very similar type of styling and very similar type of build quality. So again, they both feel exactly the same. I think the 13 Pro might be slightly thicker, but even that's kind of a stretch. I love the reflective material between both, and both these phones look very, very good when it comes down to it. Now on the back, we are getting a little bit of a different setup as well. So we're getting a triple camera setup, but the iPhone 13 Pro's cameras are definitely much bigger. The funny thing is the 12 Pro's cameras seem so much smaller now. I don't know why, I feel like they've shrank. But the iPhone 13 Pro's camera looks very good, and it is a very, very good looking, it's a very good camera setup. LiDAR sensors between both, frosted glass back between both as well, which is a really nice touch. You're getting the MagSafe capability behind both these phones, which is really cool. Wireless charging, IP certification, lots and lots of capability between both these devices, which is really nice. You're getting lightning ports at the bottom, which is really cool as well. And overall, I'm a big fan of both these devices. I feel like Apple did a really good job with the build quality of both of them, but the iPhone 13 Pro clearly to me is the better one here, and that's something I really do like between these two devices. So when it comes down to the outside, I definitely say the iPhone 13 Pro is clearly the winner, but the iPhone 12 Pro is very close, Now, in terms of software and updates, this is probably going to be the reason why the iPhone 12 Pro is not going to be as good as the 13 Pro, and it's because of its longevity. The iPhone 12 Pro came out in 2020, the 13 Pro came out in 2021, but not only in terms of software, but in terms of some hardware things too, like the promotion on the iPhone 13 Pro, it gives me a better experience overall, at least that's what it seems like to me, on the 13 Pro than on something like the iPhone 12 Pro. But when it comes down to the software, again, you're getting the same software updates right now. Lots of overlapping features. I don't really think there's been features that 13 Pro's gotten on iOS updates that the iPhone 12 Pro hasn't gotten, maybe like one or two. But for the most part, you're getting a lot of overlapping features between both, which I think is really nice. I don't know when these iPhones are going to end, but one thing I probably do know that I can kind of guess is that the iPhone 12 Pro is probably not going to last as long as the iPhone 13 Pro, and that's just kind of what happens year over year. So in terms of that, it kind of covers it up there too. Now let's go into a speed comparison between both these phones. The iPhone 12 Pro has that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 6 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 13 Pro has that Apple A15 Bionic chip inside of it with 6 gigs of RAM as well. So let's go and see which one's the faster one between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are clear on the background except for this one. 12 Pro's here, 13 Pro's here. So their app stores, 3, 2, 1. The 12 Pro is actually faster there, surprisingly. Scrolling through, and you can definitely tell the iPhone 13 Pro is a smoother one here. I definitely get that vibe. Hopping onto this one, I have some of these third-party applications we can go and test out between both. I don't know why my 12 Pro doesn't have that many applications. Let's go and try doing Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the iPhone 13 Pro does seem to be a little bit faster here. iPhone 12 Pro definitely showing some glitches here, which is kind of interesting. The 13 Pro definitely was the faster one here. Clicking play, see which one is the faster one, and I really think there's going to be, I don't know why the 12 Pro is glitching up this much. That's honestly very, very surprising. I'm not really too sure what's going on there. Hopping out of these ones, Let's go and see if I even have Subway Surfers here, which I really don't even think I do. I guess we have Crossy Road on this one, but I don't even think I have that one either. So, okay, let me try it. 3, 2, 1. Looks like there's not a lot of overlapping games and apps between these two. So this speed comparison may be pretty quick, but I think we kind of get the gist. I think we kind of know what we're kind of getting around with. And even this one, you can see that the iPhone 13 Pro is actually much slower than the iPhone, or the iPhone 12 Pro is much slower than the iPhone 13 Pro, which is very surprising. But in my personal experience, I've done lots of gaming and lots of testing between these two. It could be because we're on the iOS 17 beta here, and we are not on the iOS 17 beta here. That potentially could be one of the issues. But I will say overall, even if we were to download a specific application, I'm sure there would be lots and lots of overlap. If we were to go ahead and scroll down here, if we were to get into, let's say, Royal Match, or let's just do something we've downloaded between both, like PUBG Mobile 3G1. This is a bigger game, so it may take a little bit of time. But one thing I'll definitely tell you is between both, there is going to be lots of overlap in terms of the performance. I don't know if there's one specific phone that's going to be the better one each single time. The 13 Pro is probably going to be that, though. The 13 Pro is going to be the better performing phone when it comes down to it at the end of the day. So that kind of covers it up there. Now let's go on the camera side of things. I will say this is kind of interesting because I do feel like the camera is a big difference here. So as much of a difference the performance was, I will say, Apple did a really good job between the cameras between both of these. So the iPhone 12 Pro and the 13 Pro all have 12 megapixel sensors, 4K 60 on the back, 4K 60 on the front. So lots of builds, lots of good quality cameras here, which is really nice. But the one thing I'll definitely tell you that I've found before is that the difference between these two cameras are actually quite large. There was a really big jump from the iPhone 12 Pro to the 13 Pro in terms of the camera quality. Now I used the 12 Pro for quite a bit of time back in 2020 to 2021, and I felt like this camera was decent. Like I didn't think it was that bad. Was it a big jump from the iPhone 11 Pro? Not really, but I feel like it was okay. You have slow mode, video mode, photo mode, portrait mode, panorama mode. Not lots of unlimited, features, but it was still pretty good overall, which was kind of nice. And I think this camera is still very decent. It's definitely a decent camera at the end of the day. And again, it's just one of those things to kind of keep in mind. Now, with the iPhone 13 Pro, this is definitely a better camera sensor. I feel like this is the better camera, and that's something I really do like. Now, like I said, 4K 60 and everything is really nice, but having video mode, cinematic mode, which is a really nice feature, slow mode, time lapse, lots and lots of cool features built in within this device, which is really nice. And that is something that I really do like between the iPhone 13 Pro. It's a very good quality camera, very good quality lens, and that's something that stands out to me the most, probably from a lot of phones out at the end of the day. So to kind of sum up this whole entire video, what I'll tell you is I definitely do think the iPhone 13 Pro is the better phone when it comes down to it. It's going to be giving you better battery life, better performance, better cameras, better screen, better build quality a little bit. Like this is definitely the better phone almost in every single area, which is beautiful. So this is definitely worth the money, and it's gone down in value quite a bit in the used market too, so it's 100% worth it. The iPhone 12 Pro, I think, is a very, very good phone as well. I don't think it'd be the phone I would recommend first to a majority of people, but it would be a phone that, if you're in the market, I would 100% recommend going for it. It's a very solid phone at the end of the day, but the 13 Pro definitely is a better one for sure for a majority of people out there. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.